This video is for chapter 4.2. This will be the part on algorithms for addition. And so you have your note sheets out. You could take a look at this introduction here. The first question that appears here is having you think about this question of 48 plus 35 and then analyzing how these three different students go about adding up those two numbers. And so take a look when you get a chance, read those methods so you get a sense of what students are doing to add those values. And now after you read them, you can see they're using different methods to do so. Only one of them, what we'd call Trevor here, is using what we call the standard algorithm. And so you can see what he's doing there. Trevor does 8 plus 5 is 13, put a 3 down, carry the 1, and then adds them up, it's 83. And you can then see alternative methods. So this section here is about what we call algorithms. And then what we're going to introduce in class are multiple ways to do algorithms. One will be called the standard, which I've been using that term throughout the class so far. Now we're going to take a look at what that means. And so when we think of an algorithm, we want to make sure we know what that word means to begin with. An algorithm is a systematic step-by-step procedure used to find an answer, usually to computation. The common run algorithm for addition involves two main procedures. You add single digits and then carry or regroup or exchange when the value gets greater than 10. And so that's what we would call the standard algorithm when that occurs. And so, that's what you're familiar with. So let's take a look what we're talking about. Here's an example here of 568 plus 394. So if I said just go ahead and do that, 568 plus 394, most of you would go right to an algorithm, which means you're going to go to the standard algorithm, which just 8 plus 4 is 12. Regroup or carry, because you have 12 ones now, make one an extra group of 10, 15, 16 groups of 10, which then leaves you 6 groups of 10, and then you carry or exchange that other group of hundreds, and so you end up with 962. That's what we call the standard algorithm. We have other algorithms that students can do, and we do that with number talks, right? Some people might do for 568 plus 394 or something like that, 568 plus 394. Some of you might then 568 plus 394. Some people could say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do 500 plus 300 is 800. And so I'm going to say, you know, I'm going to do 60 plus 90. That's 150. And then 8 plus 4 is 12. And so some people might add it that way without trying to do a standard algorithm. And this way is more than adequate to give you that same answer there, 962. And what the student did in their head, they did 500 plus 300. They did 60 plus 90. And then they did 8 plus 4. That's a form of what we call the intermediate algorithm. And so there's a lot of different ways to do that. You could do the ones first and then the tens and hundreds, or vice versa. You could also use that algorithm without writing the zeros as placeholders. So you can see a similar process here. I'm still getting you the answer. So that is something what we call a non-standard, right? These intermediate algorithms, this is the standard. Some people might call this non-standard. And we can use the word standard because this is that's what's done here in how we teach it in schools. That leads us to another method you're going to try for homework. It's definitely non-standard or non-traditional. It's called the lattice method for addition. And so you can see here on this example, 568 plus 394. You can see a lattice, or this kind of diagram is built, and then it contains the values, the two-digit values. And so we'll just try one here. Let's make one up here. 6, 5, 4 plus 3, 2, 1. Let's do something like that. And what's going to happen is underneath what you do is you draw this structure like that. You have 3 place values. And so there's your first structure there. And then you go ahead and add the 4 plus 1 is 5. So you get 0, 5. The next value, 5 plus 2 is 0, 7. 6 plus 3 is 0, 9. And then what you do is you add in this direction diagonally to get your answers. And so you get 5, 7, 9, 75. So you can see here what happens on this other one. You add in this direction to get your values. And so that's what's called the lattice method for addition.